Outstanding! You're Beauty and the Beast in one luscious Christmas gift pack. Meh, close enough.
Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, posability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and the Batman is finally hitting theaters. To celebrate, we're showcasing Batman figures, both old and new, all month long. With new versions of Catwoman and the Penguin gracing the silver screen, today we're going to go back in time 10 years to look at a couple of classic versions by Mattel. Starting off the packaging, and both of them come in some pretty spiffy blister cards. I really like this wraparound Batman banner with Gotham City. As we can see, this is the Legacy Edition Classic Catwoman. She has some cool retro style artwork on the side, some air holes so she can breathe, and another pretty cool picture on the back. We've also got a write-up. Pause here if you want to read it. The Penguin was released as part of the Batman Unlimited series. Classic style artwork of him on the side. You can see a better shot of it on the back, along with a write-up that you're welcome to read. I will always prefer a window box so that you can take the figures in and out, and this does have that kind of look and feel. Of the two, I do prefer Catwoman, but I'll never say no to classic style card art. I also wish that more modern toys would do stuff like this to help introduce kids to the characters. For packaging, Penguin and Catwoman get 1 whole point. Moving on to presentation, and to the top of his hat, Penguin stands at 5 3/4 inches, and Catwoman stands at 6 inches on the dot. Penguin is mostly a repaint from Series 1 of DC Universe Classics. That said, the head sculpt is completely new and has a lot of personality. He's got the beakish nose and the monocle, also a little bit of wash in the hair. The blue and lavender color scheme evokes his look from Superpowers by Kenner, and I really appreciate that they went in and made the tie and the buttons a shinier white. Pulling it back, and we can see that the jacket's an overlay. If I did have one criticism, it would be his proportions. Specifically, just how long his arms are. He kind of looks like a chimp or an orangutan. Unfortunately, I'm not as well versed on female DC Universe Classics figures to know where all these different parts came from. Obviously the head's new and it's pretty par for the course. For whatever reason, everybody in that line is notoriously flat-faced. That said, the cape is also new and is a very striking green. I'm also assuming that the skirt's new. One thing you've probably noticed by now is that the various shades of purple don't exactly match. The head and arms are the same, but the torso's a different color and so is the skirt. Also on mine, there's unfortunately just a little bit of chipping on the boot. Her fingernails have been painted, which is a nice touch. This hand looks like it should be holding a whip, but they unfortunately did not give her one. As a tribute to things that came before, these figures are decent. Between the flat face and the mismatched colors, Catwoman is definitely the weaker of the two. Even so, these are versions of the characters that we seldom see in action figure form, so for presentation, I'm giving Penguin and Catwoman 1/2 point. Moving on to posability, and Penguin and Catwoman's heads are on ball joints. Penguin can turn his nose up this much and look down this much. Catwoman can also look down a bit, but thanks to this hair, don't expect her to look up. She can look side to side though. Both figures have swivel hinge shoulders and bicep swivel. In the case of Catwoman, that is particularly impressive. She also comes with an ab crunch. I can't get it to do much, but it's there. Penguin, on the other hand, has absolutely no torso articulation. He does, however, have swivel in the waist, and as you can see, Catwoman has that too. Additionally, both figures have single jointed elbows and swivel wrists. Peeking under the skirt, and we can see that Catwoman has swivel hinge hips. They kick forward and out. These are one of my least favorite style of hips. Luckily, the skirt hides it pretty well. It honestly doesn't look too bad on Penguin though because of his girth. Catwoman has thigh cut and single jointed knees. Penguin has a single jointed knee but no thigh cut. I'm not saying that the articulation on these figures sucks. I am, however, saying that this very vanilla pose required all of this. Of the two, Catwoman fares better, but she can't even stand up without assistance. For posability, I'm giving Penguin and Catwoman 1/2 point. Moving on to playability, and Penguin comes with an umbrella gun. Again, the colors are very reminiscent of the Superpowers collection. The gun barrel's removable and clicks on like so, and he holds it like this. Catwoman comes with a figure stand with her name on it, as well as a mini poster of the cover of Batman number 65. Empress of the Underworld? Alright. The figure stand is unfortunately necessary because she can't stand up on her own. Still, a whip to go in that hand would have been nice. But playability is more than just accessories, it's also about how well your figures play with others. Here they are with Batman and Robin. Despite Catwoman's mismatched color scheme, I think they all look really good together. For a classic villain combo, here they are with the DC Universe Classics Joker. Clearly, he and Penguin go to the same haberdasher. I don't have the DC Universe Classics Riddler, but here they are with the Frank Gorshin one by McFarlane. For some Catwoman comparisons, here she is with Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns. Here she is with Legends of Batman, also by Kenner. Here's Legends of the Dark Knight, also by Kenner. This was the very first 6-inch scale Catwoman. Here we have Greg Capullo from the DC Designer Series by DC Collectibles. And here we have Zoe Kravitz from The Batman. And for one more Catwoman, here's the Silver Age version by DC Direct. Putting them side by side, there's actually a lot of difference between the two. For a Penguin comparison, here he is with Batman Returns. This looked nothing like the movie and was instead a repaint of the Superpowers collection. Here we have Legends of the Dark Knight, which somehow manages to be simultaneously smaller and bigger. This one's a Japanese import distributed by DC Direct, and this one was made by DC Direct. Here we have the original DC Universe Classics. As you can see, they're mostly the same except for the head and the vest. And lastly, while I don't have the original Superpowers figure, I do have this one made by Toy Biz. Also, for my own sense of curiosity, here's the Penguin alongside the DC Essentials Nightfall Batman. If you wanted to make the Penguin really short, you could probably get away with it. And speaking of playing with scale, for a relative scale comparison, here they are with Pizza Spidey and the Spectacular Spider-Man. And of course, here they are with Stealth Iron Man. DC Universe Classics is a series I appreciate a lot more now than I did back then. They're not the most detailed or best articulated, and they definitely struggled with things like quality control or accessories, but you put them together and you've got something really special. For playability, I'm giving Penguin and Catwoman 1 whole point. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. I got both of these figures for just $20 a pop. Catwoman was at a toy show, and Penguin was on eBay. It was a perfect price for me, and I'm very happy to finally add them to my gallery of rogues. For price, I'm giving Penguin and Catwoman 1 whole point for a grand total of 4 out of 5. To check out Chloe Kravitz's Catwoman, click here, or check out this video on Battinson. As of this recording, we just crossed the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I am so grateful. Thank you so much for watching and for all of your love and support. Here's to the next 1,000 and to many years to come. Until then, play nice and have fun.